So I wanted to make a quick video talking about how long it takes to capture a point in squad. As you get more and more players on, you'll see the number of chevrons increase, and you'll capture a flag faster and faster for the greater the player advantage. I was curious as to the exact math behind all of that, and so I kind of went looking. This was really the only consistent thing I found that was out there that was on one of the squad wiki sites, talking about how many player advantage in the RAS game mode results in what capture times. It doesn't seem totally accurate though, and so it says there that it's from version 2.15, and we're into version 4 now. So perhaps this is just outdated data. I don't know, but I'm curious now what it really is. So why do I care about this at all? Most of the time, it's because as a squad lead, I'm worried about back capping on a lot of these newer layers, especially where they're very wild and can go all over the place. Typically, my objective is for us to get up to the center caps as quickly as possible, and hopefully with another squad already in place up on those center objectives. But on maps such as this, which is Black Coast on the screen here, since it can be a little wild, you've really got to get those back caps handled quickly so that you have an idea of exactly where it's going. So in a typical pub game, I'll usually have another squad lead who I can work with. They'll cover logging camp, and since we're trying to get things moved along quickly, I will try and cover the second cap. To me, it seems best to try and split my team up to cover both Old Barracks and Kalinovka, and say put 3 guys in a Tiger, send them down to Old Barracks, and the rest of the guys in the Logi will cover Cali, and then that way we can start capping either of those really quick. And if it happens to go to Derevnia, well, we'll leave that to the logging camp guys to cover that. But the question is, you got to know how long does it take to cap these points with how many guys you're putting in there to know if this is the right mathematic approach. So going back to this chart, if we drop one guy off on one of these points, how long should it take to take a neutral cap and completely fill the bar and capture it? Take a look at this. To me, this says 220 seconds to cap is how I would read this. Hopefully I'm not reading this wrong, but 220 seconds to fill the bar, as it says. So let's do an experiment. So I've arrived here at this capture point on Cora. So we're just going to hop out, and we're going to see how long it takes. We'll take a note of the time there on the clock. So I'm starting my cap right around 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 20 seconds remaining was about where it started. So we're going to just kind of fast forward this and see how long it takes. All right, so we're closing in on the end of the cap. We want to take a note of the time. Right there, 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 35 seconds left, we'll say. So we started at 1 hour, 55:20. We ended at 1 hour, 52:35, which is a difference of 2 minutes, 45 seconds, which is 165 seconds for a single man to fill the meter on a totally neutral point. All right, so coming back to the chart, it says, 220 seconds for one person to fill the meter if you've got a one-player advantage. And we just saw there that does not seem to be the case. One person out there on a point by themselves managed to take it in 165 seconds. That's a 55-second difference between what this chart says and the reality. So, yeah, it'd be neat to know what the real numbers are. I can also tell you with certainty if an 8 to 9 man squad hops out on a neutral point, it'll be right at 70 to 75 seconds for them to cap versus the 100 that it says on this chart. So chart seems to be way off. So here's my best stab at what numbers currently are. I don't have everything totally done here, but this is pretty darn close. So a quick thank you to the other guys in the 7th who took time out of their night to help me run a couple of experiments. You guys know who you were. A bunch of ugly guys in there just standing around sitting on a cap. So appreciate you guys doing that. And that got us a couple of numbers, which resulted in this little chart. For one, we've got to figure out the difference between an 8 or a 9-man cap. I've just not paid enough attention to that. I know it's around 70 seconds, but I want to find out for sure, is there a difference between the two? And then also the numbers in yellow, I have not effectively tested. Those are estimates. I need to get exactly that many guys on the point and record it just to be sure. But based on the trend that I see, it should be in the neighborhood of 100 seconds and 85 seconds respectively. So there you go. For what it's worth, there's the numbers we came up with, how long it takes to fill a meter based on how many people are on it. And then also the translation of how many chevrons you'll see up on the flag based on how many players are on the point. The other detail that I noticed was, even though you have one chevron, regardless of if you have one player or two players on there, the 2-player cap does go faster. So it goes 15 seconds faster having him on there. So that's good to know. Anyway, there you go. For what it's worth, I'm sure it'll change a couple versions from now to something else, and this will be obsolete. So if you're looking at this and it's whatever, several months or years down the road, be aware it's probably not accurate anymore, but who knows? Hopefully it is. Take it with a grain of salt, though. Thanks for your time. We'll see y'all out there. Bye.